Thank you. That's funny that I'm also from Estonia, so we have today kind of specialized Estonian mafia now doing presentations. And yeah, I'm Ragnar Sass, and happy to say that I'm also a user of TransferWise. It's really cool service. I have done many times. Sorry, it's not good idea to fall off the stage. So I've done many times transfer from Europe to USA using this service. And other funny things that the co-founder of TransferWise is also investor in Pipedrive. So in Estonia, everything is quite connected. But anyway, I will talk today very shortly first about what is Pipedrive about and how we have learned how to get users without actually having still today dedicated marketing person. And we haven't focused really onto the paid marketing. We have just doing some pieces, and I will just talk about my experience, what kind of things we have learned and what kind of things I think that we did right to get into this level. And this is exactly the number what we have today. So anyway, I think that in the first part I will focus into that how we came up with the idea and what was the story behind the Pipedrive. So everything will always start with the problem. And CRM is not the sexiest sector, you know. This is business software, it's just so unsexy, like everybody hates them and so on. But that's the problem, because there are 100 or even 1,000 solutions around. And all of those are still living, not all of them, but majority and biggest one is still living like in whatever, like Stone Age for me. And this is just one number, like which was announced like some months ago, that almost half of the CRMs is not used. And this is a big problem, because when you don't use software, how it can help you? And in my previous life, I have been in IT field 15 years. I started as a coder doing some basic Pascals and moved more into the project management and marketing. I have been always seeing the problems that I need some kind of solution. How to lead the sales or just have some kind of solution where I know where is my data. And usually, too many times what happens that people using tools what's easy to use. This is one example. People just put post-it notes onto the wall because it's so easy. You can just take, okay, this is the example of somebody pipeline. Like this is all the deals that, okay, I know that I have whatever 10 deals here, 10 deals here, and when something happens, I will just take this post-it note and move into the next one. And I always know what's happening. It's so easy to use. And by the way, still many people using Excel, awesome tool. You can still use paper and pen, by the way. And majority of people using your mailbox. All information is there. So this was the moment when it was like, wow, there is a problem. Why we don't try to build this experience that people love into the software? So we came up with this solution. Pipedrive is today 3 years old. I will let a little bit speak more detailed way what we have done and so on. And all our focus has been visualizing and building product what is easy to use. And what everybody can use after like 2-3 minutes without any training and schooling. Just you will log in, start to use. Like the most well-known and the biggest company in CRM field is Salesforce. But majority of people just don't get it when they will log in. You will need training. There are 100 and 1,000 people around the world who are just doing Salesforce training. In our case, we don't have anything like that. It's fully automatic. And our focus has been how to help salespeople to sell more, basically. So we have been focusing on the end user, which is the actual sales guy. Not the manager, but the sales guy who actually using it. And even though majority of the time it's for the salespeople, we have also different cases. So let me start first with the founders, because I believe that every story and every company is starting with people. And the setup of the founders has really helped us how to get more successful, because we have quite unique mixed up of the people. Timo and Urmas has been in sales forever. They have been starting in Silicon Valley, selling books to door. So they have been really working step by step and living all the time in sales training, and they know everything about the sale. They are leading today our product development. I have been always in the middle, like dealing with engineers, trying to help them to build something and understanding business needs. And then we have two Martins who are full engineers, who are like the best one, which I know. That actually our Martin Tauru, who is our CTO today, is the only guy which I know can do awesome design, can do all servers, backend and frontend, everything in the highest level which I know. This is amazing. And Martin Henk, who was actually a founding CTO, he moved to lead the customer support, which, by the way, too many times is overvaluated. But customer support is actually your business card. And when you're failing with customer support, it can do horrible mistakes for you. Like we have many clients in US and they are afraid that there another Indian guy in the phone or Philippine or whatever. So in our case, we have said no, customer support is really important part. By the way, if you want to register, then this is the promo code. It will give you 90 days free trial. So I don't force it, but if you want to have more free trial, just you can use this promo code just to register for our service. So I will now tell you about our story, you know, how we have been started and what has been the most important milestones. And actually, I think that if you will ever fundraise, and this is the only chart that actually investors will actually care. Because this is showing money actually. And every kind of chart, when you have an existing company, should show that your revenue and your traction is growing like that. Actually, in the real life, there are very few real hockey sticks. Usually it's up and down, up and down. But anyway, there are like two things. Let me see how it was. Okay, this is showing money, and this is showing how many we had paying companies. And we started 2010, the usual slow start. You just build very fast. We actually was launching our prototype with 2 months only, and then was giving to all our people and was giving some feedback. And then we launched paid version, which is, I believe, the most important moment in your company life, because if people will start to pay for a product, then you most likely have nailed something already. So we had 2011, we had the paid product out, and then I think that what we did right, that we moved into we was going into the Angel Pad, which is awesome accelerator in Silicon Valley, because all founders are native Estonians. But, you know, where is the market? There is no market in Estonia. Estonia is just a small boutique with 1.3 million people, no home market. Awesome place to live, but no, you can't do business there. So from the first day on, we actually focused on the one thing, how we can find customers from bigger markets. And US is the biggest market indeed. And after AngelPad, which is done by former Google engineers and people, we understood how we can acquire more clients. I will just do one example what we did and what was doing us really well. In AngelPad, we removed 80% of information from our front page. And what was the result? Our conversion rate was tripling. We had just too many links there. So we ended up having only 2 links in this time. One was sign up, because this is for American people. So they want to just see already what's this all about. And then was link learn more. And this is for German people, because they always want to know more and they want to know more stuff and so on. But it was really working. And we removed quite much information that you can now sign up with 10 seconds. We just need your email, we need your password and company name, and that's it basically. Because signing have to be very easy. So, and after AngelPad, we was going back to Estonia, and we focused on the one thing, how we can be in break even. Because, you know, every startup is, at the end of the day, a company. And every company should make money. That's easy. Many startups are kind of, you know, sometimes missing that part, because you don't want to depend too much on investors, because they are just helping you. And you are the guy or the team who are running the actual show. And then, when we had 1,000 customers, we had very easy to raise money, because you know, we can say yes or no. We was just really focusing how to get best possible people, and we did actually fundraising without face-to-face meetings. We just had Skype calls, emails, and that's it. And then we did small seed round, and then after a couple of months later, we had already 1 million annual run rate, and just months ago we announced another seed round with 2.4 million with very great people, some Silicon Valley investors, some investors from Hong Kong, and so on. But I think that out of this, what I would say is that you have to understand that, thank you for time, now I see the time, that every people who are connected with your company is your team members, also your investors. Just you have to also understand, do you want to work with them or not? If you're failing to hire engineer or failing to connect with right investors, then it could affect everything in your company. So now I will get to the point finally. I have only spoken 10 minutes. Main driver for our company is word of mouth. And this is an example what just yesterday was somebody was publishing. We haven't forced it guy. He was just publishing the blog post, "We love Pipedrive." And this is CRM. This is the unsexiest thing ever. You can say, I love Instagram, I love Facebook, or whatever, I hate Facebook, whatever. But how many times you see that people saying, I love something which is business software? Quite rare. And they believe that this is, the biggest reason is that company, biggest value, but everybody in team knows is one thing. How we can build best possible product in the world. So everything what we are doing, we are asking, will this step help us to build best possible product in the world? Sometimes we argue with some small pixels, but in the end of the day, it will make big impact for your end user. So that was just very good story in New York Times just 2 weeks or 1 week ago by iPhone engineer who was describing how hard was actually launching iPhone. But you know, just read this story, it's this awesome story. And you really understand that product is the most important part in your startup life. If you are failing to having great product, you don't have almost like nothing. So in our case, still today, 3 years after launching, we are getting 80% of our new signups through word of mouth. People just know about us. They have been, somebody has told, they have been reading blog posts like that, somebody has tweeting, whatever. But the main driver is word of mouth. And if you will later read, the biggest reason is that it's simply to use and understandable. And it's different in our field. And by the way, you can find many areas where still very ugly softwares are leading the show. I know that everybody wants to just launch next Instagram because $1 billion is great money, or whatever, you know, but in business sectors there are still many ugly bastards around. So, okay, I was not talking too much about product. Some more hints. Out of word of mouth, the biggest driver for us has been Chrome Web Store. This is so easy thing. You will just put your product there. It's basically like your whatever. You're just putting some shortcut into the Chrome welcome page, and this is still giving us like every day, I don't know, quite decent amount of the signups. And what we did, so what was some small magic how we was getting more traction? When Chrome Web Store was launching it, we was very active in the first days. So what we did, we actually was asking our customers, if you love us, just please write something, sir. So the first 10, 15 was not faked, but we was asking from customers, can you help us to spread the word? Some people will say no, indeed. That's not the question. But some people, okay, no problem. I anyway love you. And the next thing what we have done, if they are helping us, we are just whatever, we are extending some free trial, we are helping them back. So we have been quite much communicating with our customers and asking help, because we also like, you know, help them. So this is, I think that if we are putting this word of mouth into the parts, and this is the main, most important thing for us, and you can still use it, you know, there are 100 different listings. There are Google Apps Marketplace, there are whatever. If you are launching your mobile apps, there are like these get shares, there are like, especially for Android, there are different things. Let's try to pick the place where you want to be in the first, in the reviews. Again, social media. This is example Quora, which is also in top 5 if you think about our like sources where people are finding us. And this is very interesting thing. Just somebody was asking, what is the best CRM for the startups? And then one of our customers, and actually we didn't know, he was just finding and he was replying it. And people agree. So we are usually first or second replies here. And especially in the startup field, people are trusting this kind of like source. And it has been giving us every month like at least 50 or whatever, like more signups. And usually, if you're already looking what's the best CRM for startups, then you most likely have already a problem. And you most likely already looking for solution. Another interesting thing, this is my CTO. He's the awesome guy, as I was telling. And this is usual profile. And he's getting every week some email from some recruitment company. So what he did, he was writing here, I am not available, but if you want, please use this promo code. And guys, this is working. We have at least 100 signups through that text here, by the way, through this promo code, who originally wanted to hire this guy, but ended up using our service. So by the way, and also, many times what happens that we are getting emails from whatever, oh, you just get funding, you know. Please, maybe you need some help. And we are replying, thank you. Maybe you need help, how do you, whatever, lead your recruitment process. Because in Pipedrive, actually, you can customize your pipeline. So you can use this also for the recruitment when you're hiring people. And this is, I think that this is one of the rare things. When we was like founding this, I thought, wow. So now we actually just, in next weeks, we will put every our team member profile, this kind of add-on, you know. So you have to be creative and think about different things. And I think that even LinkedIn, which is quite devil, to be honest, they haven't even found that yet. And I think that this is not even, this is totally legal. So in our case, Twitter is helping us a lot. And this is just random tweets, which people has been tweeting about us. I was just yesterday finding them. We have been super active in Twitter because the good thing is actually good, but if something is bad and when you don't reply it with like some minutes, wow, this can be, grow and grow. So in our case, we have now support is working in 24 hours, and every support person is also handling the Twitter because it can help you, but it can also burn you. When we have just tiny problem with our hosting, then Twitter feed is, just amazingly smashed immediately because it's, we are living in the new age now and people are expecting that you will be fast in every level. But anyway, Twitter has also, many times, actually Tanel Tikka is quite famous Finnish engineer and investor, so he was quite amazed that he was just tweeting about us. He had just quite many followers and so on. So you can use very wisely Twitter. And actually also, in Twitter, many times people asking questions. Like, hey guys, I need that. Have somebody use something similar. When you're building the right kind of set for yourself, you can use this tool and reply them or just ask some people, like, it has to be natural, it has to be right. You can't fake it. But when you have good thing, you can use it. The one thing what, as I was telling you already, I'm from Estonia, so my first language is Estonian language. So I know that there are some other languages in the world. I also can speak Russian, but no, мой русский язык не очень хороший, извините. Я говорю на английском сегодня. So I know that there are different languages, and we have 6 languages in our software. Sorry, Russian have to be improved. We are doing it right now. There are some very bad mistakes somehow happened. But what is interesting part that this is showing our Google Analytics data. So this is about September, and when I'm looking. So indeed, the biggest country for us is United States. No surprise of that. But our case, our traffic and revenue is divided into 3 parts. 30% US, 30% all Europe Union, included Ukraine, even though you are not in Europe Union, but for me it's Europe. And then all other world is also 30%. And now it's surprising part. Second market by country, by revenue, is Brazil. And I have never been in Brazil. I know some people now, thank God. But yeah, I will definitely go. And reason, this is a very funny story how it was started. First, how many people know AngelList? 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, AngelList, Naval Ravikant, he's the awesome guy. By the way, he was also helping us. I don't know why, but some years ago. And Back in 2011, there was 2 Brazilian startup people who was founding, oh, there is a CRM like Pipes, I was using it. And they liked us, and then we was launching Brazil Portuguese version in 2011 in October. And after that, it's just growing constantly every month. We basically see just almost every month some blog post about us, and it's just because it's quite rare that some company, which is for them American company, because today we have 2 offices. One is in Palo Alto, and the biggest one is Tallinn. That, wow, American company has done Brazil Portuguese version. Wow, we can understand that. By the way, support is still in English. So we have to most likely change that, but you know, you have to keep in mind that even America is the biggest market. There are other markets which sometimes has less competition. And in our case, the fact that we have 6 different languages is helping us a lot. You know, find me please French people who love English. You most likely will not find that. Indeed, some people can speak, but you know, majority. French is the most beautiful language in the world. This is the major story what I heard from them. And definitely, they would love to use French version. We have also French version. So the fact that we are international has helped us a lot. And this is also kind of saving us that if somebody is attacking us and we know that, oh, we are still safe in at least some countries. So, you know, SEO, this is the one example. When you are Googling, at least, I know Google search is now so tricky because you have to log in, log out, or whatever. But I was Googling and by the promo code, and somehow first 3 things are like actually like links. When we was finding out that people are Googling about promo code, we just made our own promo code. So when you are smart enough, you're just ending up exactly in our web page, and we have usually 30 days free trial. Okay, you was Googling, we will give you now 45 days. So, but SEO, the problem is like, SEO is not ever giving you fast results, like ever now. And it's like changing almost like weekly now. So we have been working with search engine optimization now almost 2 years. And it's just growing now step by step. But it will never give you like very big, you know, like impact. But you can't ignore the fact that people using Google and they are trying to find the things. So I would say that still that use SEO. So content marketing, and I have a very good story on that. But so we are talking quite much what we are doing. And how many people know Buffer app? Is there anybody? Oh, some people. So Buffer app is the best example how to use content marketing. These guys just has nailed content marketing. They're getting almost every sign up through their blog, basically. So this is, we was in the same incubator, and Leo and other guys, awesome guys. So in our case, what we have done, you know, which kind of content we are writing. We are writing indeed how we are building the startup, and we are also trying to teach our users how to use software and so on. So, and this is awesome piece. What happens that, you know, Russia is a great country as usual. So we had some conversation with Russian guys back in 2011, and they wanted to be our resellers. Okay, we was talking, we said, you know, what happens that before we agreed anything, they basically was registering our domain. It was like, guys, that's not cool, you know, we can't cooperate with you. And we said, we will not cooperate with you. And 3 months later, we just was, wow, there is a Cliento box, whatever the name, which has copied 100% our front end. 100%. There was some hidden things in our front end that you can just push 3 different letters, and there was just Donald Duck was showing up. Exactly same thing happened with their own web page. So it was like, we was like, wow, what we'll do now? So we was using this for content marketing. We was writing story. We was publishing this in Hacker News, and we was getting 20,000 unique views per day in this day. Indeed, we actually didn't. You can't see here the name, so I was just, don't tell others. So we was not publishing their name, but people was reading, and we was also using this story just to promote ourselves. And by the way, if somebody is copying you, you have to have done something super right, because people will never copy some shit stuff. Okay, some people who don't understand things, they would do, but usually, when you see clones around you, you're in the right track already. So this is just one example, but I think that it's not only important to publish the things, it has to be very good written, it has to be help or useful, and you have to think how to spread word around that. So content marketing has helped us a lot. So, and part of that is indeed PR, whatever, when we have the thing, we are using press just to tell us, just to tell some stories about us. And just months ago, we had the news, and then indeed we were thinking about, okay, which is the best, best blogs or the things who can, write about us. And we was speaking with Wall Street Journal, which is great thing. We had also a piece in TechCrunch indeed. So the problem with PR is, by the way, is that PR is helping you just, this is a one time of pump, but you never know which kind of people will then find you. And you can't rely 100% on the PR, because it's just, you will have maximum 1-2 events per month. That's it. I can't imagine that you can be so creative to have more. And I think that with PR, the most important is to be creative. This is example what Business Insider was writing about us 2 days later. So they was like, we don't want to write you anymore, news are already out. Oh, you was in the sauna with investors. That's great story. So be creative with your things, just think. Journalists are loving crazy stuff, Usual startup is just, oh, I was announcing something. This is boring. Please find some kind of, exactly, I think that agree with me that be creative with the things what you're telling with, to your journalist. And also please be aware that they wanna be exclusive with the things. So they don't wanna know that same time all the blogs are announcing the same thing. When you're creative, try to say them, okay, and try to give them some time frame, like at least 2-3 days, And I have used this piece, and I'm telling you, and you have whatever 2 days to reply me. And and what usually happens when you are in some kind of important blog, then everybody are tweeting and tweeting and tweeting. 1 month later, we still see retweets about our fundraising, even though it was happening in September. So basically, and again, back to the point what I have to say, the product and building the product, what is super useful. Having people in your team who know exactly what is the problem about what you're trying to solve is huge important. Don't try to just, start company and you don't have any very deep understanding the problem what you're trying to solve. Because otherwise you can't fake it. I mean that you can fake it, but you can't make it in this level. So one more time, because I'm trying to be also timely, I have 2 minutes. So if you want to use these free trials, and this is the promo code, I sometimes also can help you, because I'm also helping to do hackathons in Ukraine. So if you think that I can help you, just drop me an email. This is my Twitter feed, and thank you.